Right on time, Soap is having a drink. Welcome back, everybody, to True Crime Metrix. We had a great victim impact statement today in the court, in the Utah court for the Kouri Richins case. Eric's sister Amy gave a fine speech, pretty damning. I mean, it started off soft and neutral, but it quickly gravitated into a scathing review and a call for maximum on maximum on maximum from the judge. Safety for the children, worried for the safety of the three boys, not just my life. What will she do next if she's ever released? So we'll check that out, starting first of all, right? I don't know if today's going to be a short show. We might do a short show and then another show later this evening. That could be a good idea because I have got a lot of things to do. Too many, too much. But we'll take a break from that for now.
Go ahead.
Dear Judge Mrazek, I'm here today to represent my brother, Eric Eugene Richins, whose life was taken in a senseless act of poisoning on March 3rd, 2022. His wife, the defendant, has been accused of committing this crime. His life...
Okay, great synchronizing the hair color with the paneling of the courtroom. Fantastic. I mean, it's well within range.
Was taken in a senseless act of poisoning on March 3rd, 2022. His wife, the defendant, has been accused of committing the ultimate act of betrayal. Eric is gone, and I am brokenhearted. He was my best friend and protector.
Good evening, Brian and Barbara. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm looking for signs of guilt, contrition, remorse, anything from our little dwarf elf thing here in court, wearing another almost normal shirt today. That better not be Eric's shirt. I couldn't believe that she got rid of all of his clothes out of the house within a week. Oh, just the stuff the sister lists out here. I mean, it really, really spells it out. By the way, what is going on? The prosecution has rested and the defense didn't call any witnesses. Kouri refused to testify, declined to testify, opted not to testify. So what? It's gone back to the jury? I am so far behind.
This act of poisoning on March 3rd, 2022. His wife, the defendant, has been accused of committing this crime. If she is found guilty, she has committed the ultimate act of betrayal.
Right, it starts off if she's found guilty. If she's... And this is weird, isn't it? Why is a victim impact statement happening before the verdict? There hasn't been a fucking verdict, has there? I think I probably would have known about that, but I haven't been keeping an eye on things too much. Been busy. So, is that a Utah thing? Do they give victim impact statements before they've got a verdict? Like, that makes sense. Something to do while we wait for the jury to deliberate.
Eric is gone.
Good morning, Christina. Good morning, Suze. Good to see you. Good to see everybody.
And I am brokenhearted. He was my best friend and protector. The feeling of loss is so great it is visceral. And with the...
Oh, look at those twinging lips there. That's contempt. That's contempt and disgust. Do you think this woman has any positive emotion? Like, just even a small one? Even like, I don't know. Like the satisfaction you get when you need to take a piss, and you finally get to a place where you can do that safely, and there's that relief. I bet she doesn't even get that, right? Not even that.
Sorrow comes a wave of panic at not being able to see him again. I can never talk to him, never hug him again, and never more be a part of his life.
Christina says, I sent you an important text just now. Okay. Where? On the Discords. Oh, this was a bail hearing. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay, so Brian says, I don't know if this is the case here, but sometimes they will let someone do a victim impact statement if they aren't going to be in town after the verdict. Well, she lives close by. On the ranch.
Eric's world revolved around his family, his love for hunting, the family cattle ranch, and his intense drive as a successful entrepreneur. Being born into the Richins legacy shaped Eric's formative years and resulted in a lifetime of hard work, dedication, and fierce loyalty. At an early age, Eric learned the joy.
I want to hear what the fucking buffalo, the family of the buffalo whose head he had on his wall, where's their victim impact statement? What would they say? What sound does a buffalo make? Surely it doesn't just moo like a cow. It's got to be different, right? What is it? What is the sound of a buffalo?
Joys of keeping horses and cows around. He spent countless hours helping.
I think they do a lot of snorting, right? They just snort around all day.
Our dad work the ranch, hauling hay, feeding the animals, and mending fences. He loved our family unconditionally.
Too bad he couldn't mend the fences in his marriage.
And was a devoted son, brother, uncle, and father.
What about colleague and friend? Mentor? Cousin? Third cousin? Brother-in-law? Buddy? Acquaintance? What else is there? Employee? No, he was the boss. Partner? Business owner? ATV enthusiast. So he's the guy causing all the noise pollution around the beautiful countryside, is he? Great.
Eric was a family man who always strove to be the absolute best father and husband. He was an attentive and loving father to his 3 sons and a devoted husband.
You see, why don't you put a U in the word neighbour? It looks so much nicer. Elegant, simple, beautiful.
Husband to his wife of almost 9 years, Kouri, the defendant. Eric did absolutely everything in his power to provide his family and his 3 sons with every possible opportunity to learn, grow, and have fun. He was the coach or assistant coach on all his boys' teams, which included soccer, basketball, and baseball. He spent...
Why have they switched tables? Huh? Why is that? Got a real clear shot of her now. Look at that black suit. Black suit, red hair. That's a win, really, isn't it? That's a win. Black suit, red hair.
Countless hours coaching and teaching the boys to play aggressive and give it their all. Eric truly cared about every single child he coached and wanted the absolute best for all of them. There was never...
Yeah, you know he was coming back and probably saying, oh, that Miles kid was looking at me again today. He freaks me out. What's wrong with that kid? I don't want to coach him anymore. You know, I mean, that stuff happens to normal people, right? I love it when, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not trying to take anything away from the moment, obviously. but Eulogies and what's that movie where the guy stands up and finally just comes out with it and says, listen, this guy was a fucking dick. A liar, cheat, thief. I mean, if it wasn't nailed down, he pinched it. Not saying that was like what Eric was, but I mean, but she does get to something that's... I have to ask the chat exactly what is meant here, because if it is what I think it is, it's certainly giving a full picture of the man and not this glorified, Saint Eric thing.
Never a dull moment when you were around Eric, whether it was him showing up to a family dinner with no socks or the sleeves torn off of his shirt because he had to make an emergency bathroom stop along the way, or his call.
Okay, that's it. Now, what does that mean? That he was gonna shit himself? So he pulled over to the side of the road and took a shit on the side of the road and tore the sleeves off of his own shirt to wipe his ass. And his socks. Is that what she means? I mean, just wiggle around. Sort it out when you get home, Don't fucking ruin your clothes. And then he's going to what? Throw a couple of sleeves, shirt sleeves, into some bushes that are covered in shit and some socks. I mean, I can't think of what else she meant there. Oh, whether it was when he would show up at family dinners late with no socks on and no sleeves on his shirt because he had an emergency bathroom break. That to me means he was driving along and needed a shit and couldn't wait and had to get out by the side of the road and take a shit and tear the sleeves off of his own shirt and use his socks and his sleeves to wipe his ass, which he obviously didn't fucking take with him, did he? Just threw them in the bush. I mean, who's going to pick that up, eh? It's probably worth money now if you could find them.
Calling to tell you he rolled the four-wheeler for the upteenth time is stuck and he needs you to...
Should we just go back and just double check? Is there any other possible interpretation here, or what? Is it just me? Is it an American thing?
Basketball and baseball. He spent countless hours coaching and teaching the boys to play aggressive and give it their all. Eric truly cared about every single child he coached and wanted the absolute best for all of them.
Apart from Miles. That weird kid, Miles, looking at me again. All day he was.
There was never a dull moment when you were around Eric, whether it was him showing up to a family dinner with no socks or the sleeves torn off of his shirt because he had to make an emergency bathroom stop along the way, or his...
Along the way like where? Go to a gas station, you fucking... What can you say about that? I mean, why bring that up in court? Do you think Eric would have wanted that? For the world to know and to think about as a legacy?
Is calling to tell you he rolled the four-wheeler for the upteenth time is stuck and he needs you to come get him. It was never boring. Eric loved to have fun and always wanted to make sure everyone else did as well. He owned almost every motorized toy possible, from four-wheelers and side-by-sides to trucks and snowmobiles, and was so excited to share those with his sons. He had the perfect combination of business sense and foresight. He built a very successful masonry business.
Busy with the lips again, huh? Twitching, trying to keep that mouth shut. She just must want to stand up and say, no, lies.
Business from the ground up and helped many friends do the same. He had a special ability to build close relationships with everyone he worked with, which really allowed his business to thrive. Eric loved every aspect of his job, but most of all, he loved the people he worked for and those he worked with. Eric faithfully supported organizations that he truly believed in. He never was one that wanted recognition or accolades. He did most things anonymously.
Michelle says it sounds like Neanderthal behavior. Yeah, but it is Utah. I mean, we have to take that into account, don't we? What is that thing with genetics? I forget.
Honestly and without recognition. Eric was a true champion of all people. It did not matter if you were an employee, friend, family, or the next random person walking down the street. If you needed anything, you could count on him. He truly cared.
Look, she's nodding along now, huh? In your shirt of peace. Still got the sleeves on that one, huh? Maybe that was it, why she started having an affair. It was these little stops on the side of the road. Do you think he ever did that when she was in the vehicle? You know, oh, I gotta make a stop. She's like, what, again? What are you, a fucking camel?
Cared about each person he met. Eric loved fully, laughed loudly, and lived life with reckless abandon. He enjoyed great adventures to far-off places, but also cherished the small and finer things in life. No obstacle was too great for Eric. He simply viewed each one.
Then how come he never shot a, field mouse? He cherished the little things in life. Except for the heads, then it was the bigger the better. I want a buffalo, silverback gorilla, lion, big lion, saber-toothed tiger, and Tyrannosaurus Rex on my wall, in my wall of heads. So I remember seeing this documentary about illegal poaching in Africa, right? And on it they showed this ashtray, this souvenir that was an actual giant gorilla's hand. I mean, just think about that for a moment. You're gonna use the severed hand of a gorilla. I assume there's not many left in the wild. I mean, it's got to be endangered by now. They're all in the zoo. Waiting for Wendy. Biding their time. Laying low. Yeah, but Eric, as far as I understand it, went out to Africa, right? That was said in opening statements, defense opening statements, went out to Africa. So would have been around the kinds of souvenirs like that, right? And probably picked it up and thought, yeah, I mean, if I smoked, this would be great. But maybe I could put my marijuana gummies in the gorilla hand and then, pass them around at parties. And that'll be an interesting, talking piece. Why not just have the whole gorilla with two hands and each one of them full of marijuana gummies?
One is a challenge. No peak was too high, and the next adventure was always just around the next bend.
Polar bear, yeah, that's a statement, isn't it? Of course, he could only have it out during winter months. It'd be like the Christmas theme head. We could put fucking tinsel on it and baubles, maybe a little angel on top as a hat. And then we all throw Christmas pudding at it. 100 points if you get a spoonful of it to land in his mouth. Yeah. And gotta get the paws, right? The bear paws for ashtrays.
Words cannot describe the loneliness and loss that is felt in every heart that was lucky enough to know him. Eric was such an inspiration and role model for us all. His loss has created a Grand Canyon-sized hole in this community. Except instead of taking millions of years to slowly form, our worlds change overnight. His 3 boys' entire worlds and their perspectives on life changed. None of our lives will ever be the same. Eric died under horrendous circumstances.
Oh, hey, look, we're only 31 subscribers away from a 7,000 subscriber milestone. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, it would help us a great deal if you would. And then you'll see all of our shit.
I'm tormented at the thought of what he endured. I play it out in my mind. I go through the terrible sequence of events. I wonder when he realized he was in mortal danger. I wonder what Kouri may have said to him in his last moments. How long was he conscious, knowing he would die? Where were Eric's boys when all of this happened?
Sounds like she's thinking the same thing as me, that he might have been calling out in pain. I can't move. Agonizing pain. Probably. And sick Kouri would have been just like, cuddled up with her kids in their room, listening to him going, okay, he'll probably stop any minute. Yeah. He'll probably stop any minute. And then finally, silence. She probably waited another 45 minutes before she went in.
Did they hear Eric's body fall to the ground? Did they catch a glimpse of their father taking his last breath? It's torture to think of. Why did Eric lose his life? Why did the boys lose their father? Was it because of Kouri's greed and desire to get life insurance and other assets? If so, that is abhorrent. How could anyone value human life so cheaply? I cannot comprehend it.
Imagine having to listen to this, hey, knowing that you did what she did. If she did what she did. You've been so greedy and selfish that you've murdered somebody who was really loved, and you've broken their lives forever because you wanted to drive a nice car and live in a house that gave the appearance of your wealth and class. It's like it's the saddest shit, isn't it? And I don't necessarily think she's feeling guilt about it, but I think she might be getting that her bad decisions have led to her being this now forever. This will be the last thing that she's ever labelled as. Her last mark on outside society. Just this greedy, selfish twat. Basic. Just for a load of fucking shiny crap, right? Shiny crap.
I'm overflowing with grief and pain at the thought that Eric meant so little to her. If Eric had died because of an illness, he would have been cared for. He could have looked after him and been with him. If he had died because of an accident, people would have tried to help. There would have been kindness. But there's no comfort to be had here. There's no consoling thought in the way Eric died. In his last moments, after being intentionally poisoned, he was faced with betrayal and terror. The thought of it...
Betrayal and terror, yeah. You're a betrayer and a terrorist. Mona Hannah, 307, says, closing arguments are going to be interesting. I know the state will drive this home to justice for the victim. His family, his children, such a tragic, senseless crime. She is wicked. It certainly appears so. And then Michelle says, oh, what is that?
It is unbearable. I am haunted by the horror of it. This last year has been a living hell for our family.
Oh, here comes the head shaking as well. Lip action and head shaking.
We have watched as Kouri has paraded around portraying herself as a living widow and victim while trying to profit from the death of my brother. Both by trying to profit from a book about his death and trying to get life insurance and assets that should go exactly where Eric wanted them to his boys.
How do I...
Immediately after Eric was killed, Kouri told us...
That book, I mean, not only will you be remembered like this, just this shallow, skin-deep, selfish twat, but you've got the book, right? Where everyone can, you're like, what do you call it? Immortalized with your book, with your stupid book. Oh, can we see the book? Can we just go and have a look at the book one more time? Every time I see it, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? How did you think this was something that would benefit you? How do we find it? Is that it? No. Well, where is it? No. 2 seconds. Got it.
Started as a whisper.
Are You With Me? By Kouri Richins.
All right, I'll read it. Are You With Me? By Kouri Richins. And there he is with the soccer ball. We've got Dad Eric up in the clouds there with the angel wings halo and cheering on the boy, right? Like any good dad would. And what's with those ominous, I mean...
Started as a whisper.
Are you?
The birds, what would you say they are? Would you say it's fair that they're crows? I mean, they're black birds, right? They're not swallows. I'm going to say they're crows. What is a group of crows called? Boom. What is a group of crows called? That's what Metrix does, you see. Nobody's mentioned that, have they? Nobody mentioned that. So buy us a cup of coffee, why don't you? buymeacoffee.com/true crime Metrix.
You with me?
Oh, we don't want to listen to that. No. Dedication. Oh, hang on. What?
by Kouri Richins.
Shut up. Okay, dedication. Dedicated to my amazing husband and a wonderful father. Again, this is supposed to be a book for people other than her. The idea of the book is that it's been created through her experience with her own family to create this book that other such unfortunate families could use for their own ways of supposedly providing some kind of coping mechanism to the children of a fallen parent. But there's all these very personal things about her own situation, right? Dedication. Dedicated to my amazing husband and a wonderful father. So if this is for other people, wouldn't there have been an opportunity to say something more general, such as dedicated to all parents that left too early but were loved so much, or something like that, right? General for everybody, not gender. This is it's the husband, the father that's died, so that's already, I mean, and it's just the dedication. I guess that's not for thee, but just it's a lack of proper thought, right? There's an eagerness to present this as some her own grieving as well, dedicated to my amazing husband. You know, it's overselling the thing of I'm grieving and he's so missed because I had nothing to do with this. Again, with it's their family and dog and names and depictions. Always on our minds, forever in our hearts. Okay, that's more general. Plus it's got that fancy squiggle letters. That's design. Are we going to read the whole fucking thing? I don't think we should. Not without the faces of the children blurred out. Yeah, we'll probably do that tomorrow. Check out tomorrow our child-safe version of the book, read to you by Metrix. Are you in the clouds when I look up to see you, to tell you about my day, ask about yours, and tell you that I love you? Are you at my soccer game when I scored that goal for you? I looked for you in the crowd, but you weren't there. Did you see it? Are you with me? Are you with me on my birthday to blow out my candles? As if the dad is going to blow out the candles. That's so funny. Some greedy dad doesn't let the boy have any fun. He wants to blow out the candles himself. To celebrate another year and watch me grow, teach me new things and watch me make mistakes. Again, watch me make mistakes. I just... You know, it doesn't end well, does it? It ends on a really bad... This guy is fucking always making mistakes. I don't know what's wrong with that kid. He's worse than Miles at the training, at the Little League. Fucking Miles. Now our son's up to it as well. He's weird. I don't like him. Okay, let's go back to the courtroom, right? That's what we're here to do.
She could not help us get anything ready for the funeral, as she was too distraught with grief. We shortly found...
God, yeah, I remember people like that.
Wolf by trying to profit from a book about his death, and
The day that it's the cleaning up day, they're ill, you know. Oh, a terrible migraine. Migraine? Have you got paracetamol? Oh, no. Cramps. Terrible cramps. Can't do it.
trying to get life insurance and assets that should go exactly where Eric wanted them to his boys. Immediately after Eric was killed, Kouri told us she could not help us get anything ready for the funeral as she was too distraught with grief. We shortly found out that was not true at all. In fact, she pulled herself together enough to go close on the purchase of a $2 million home, hire a real estate agent, hire an architect to create CAD drawings of the home, hire a lawyer in order to file a lawsuit on Eric.
Hire an architect to create CAD drawings of the home. Because she's such a businesswoman, right? I can just see her now. I bet that CAD programmer took her for a ride, man. But she's the kind of person that would, like, refuse to pay and then threaten sexual harassment claims, you know? After, like, rubbing her tits in your face to try and get a deal. You say no, she agrees but refuses to pay and then threatens harassment charges. That's the kind of thing she'd do, right? I'm surprised she didn't do that to, what's his name? The puppy dog. God, he hasn't been involved in an incident yet, has he? Where is he? I want him located. I don't think Summit County is safe until we've got a location. Probably down at the VA, members only.
Trust. Hire a locksmith to come break into and clean out my brother's safe and attempt to have Eric cremated.
Yeah, she needed to get in the safe to find his final wishes. We've been over this. Hello, Riding Shotgun. How you doing? Samara, Jill Jane. Good to see you. Good to see everybody.
She mustered up the strength and resolve to do most of this within 48 hours of his death.
Yeah, let's go over that again. Close on a $2 million home, right? Well,
Tech to create CAD drawings of the home. Hire life insurance and assets that should go exactly where Eric wanted them to his boys. Immediately after Eric was killed, Kouri told us she could not help us get anything ready for the funeral.
They're going to have like 30 ATVs between them, aren't they? Dirt bikes, Jeeps. What else? What else can you have? What are they called? Four-wheeler, right?
As she was too distraught with grief. We shortly found out that was not true at all. In fact, she pulled herself together enough.
Yeah, I can't help with the funeral arrangements. I am too distraught with grief. And she goes and gets, you know, if you're going to go and close on a $2 million home, you make sure you look the part, don't you? You got to get all smartly dressed, proper makeup, good hair. I mean, if that's possible for Kouri Richins, I don't think it is it? Maybe she should just dress up as an elf. Yeah, and go to the closing. And you know she celebrated. She didn't come home after the $2 million closing and grieve, did she? No. Oh.
To go close on the purchase of a $2 million home, hire a real estate agent, hire an architect to create CAD drawings of the home, hire a lawyer.
Okay, and hiring a real estate agent is something that requires you to be present and have a personality, doesn't it? Engaging. You've got to pick the right person. You've got to pick someone that gels with you. Someone with the right offer, the right experience. You've got to go through all that. I mean, it's a major thing. It's something that requires full concentration. Impossible to do. You think any of the Richinses would have been able to do something like that? No sirree, Bob. No sirree, Bob.
in order to file a lawsuit on Eric's trust, hire a locksmith to come break into and clean out my brother's safe, and attempt to have Eric cremated. She mustered up the strength and resolve to do most of this within 48 hours of his death. Kouri assaulted me. I will never forget the look in her eyes.
I bet that was awkward for the locksmith. He's got his drill out, or whatever they use. What do they use? A drill? Tell you, man, locksmiths have got it. You ever had to call a locksmith and they just come round with this? They've got something in their hand, right? I don't know if it shoots compressed air or what, but they don't show it to you. It's like this magic box, and they just put it on your keyhole and pop, the door's open. 2-minute job, €95. What is that thing, and where do I get one? I mean, not that I need one, but it'd just be handy, wouldn't it? What's the trick? You never know. You never know when it would be handy, that's the point. You might need to escape. Someone could lock you in, but you've got your magic box.
When she attacked me that Sunday morning. It was early and had been snowing most of the night.
Yeah, we should create a goal, shouldn't we? As a reminder. What did we say? What did we say earlier that no one else sees? Oh, the crows. Did you see that writing? You'll like this. We'll show writing. So we just got to go back to the front cover. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The birds. Black birds. Crows. What's a group of crows called? A murder. Oh. So encrypted into this is something that is completely valid. I do believe that they are crow-shaped. The one at the back, yes. The two middle ones. The two in front, definitely. I mean, they're crows. And a group of crows is called a murder. And on the front cover, next to the murder of crows, is the man that she murdered. Is there any possible way that that's intentional? Because if it's not intentional, it's the subconscious. And even if someone else did it completely and she had no artistic involvement, which is probably likely, right? This was just farmed out to some college kid, some illustrator. Then there was a subconscious message that she didn't want to, or no, that was conveyed. Something was conveyed that told that college kid, illustrator, murder. Put murder on the front cover. For sure, man. Cool.
I was just getting ready to leave and heading out to the car when I saw a locksmith in Eric's detached garage starting to drill out his gun safe.
Oh, no.
I asked Kouri multiple times why we could not just call my dad for the code. I could not understand why she was breaking into and ruining Eric's safe. To this, she screamed at me at the top of her lungs, called me some inappropriate things I cannot share with you here, and then told me to get out of her house. It was then that I told her that she could not kick me out of my brother's house. My sister Katie was now the executor of Eric's trust and estate, and just like Eric, she would not want the defendant breaking into his gun safe. Kouri looked at me with pure hatred and rage. I was messing up her plan. I was getting in her way, and because of that, she attacked me. She punched me in the face and neck multiple times. It took 4 people to pull her off me that day. Before the funeral, Kouri opened a bank account and asked everyone that was grieving to send her money instead of sending the family cards and flowers. It was not even 2 weeks after Eric's passing that we were told she had taken down all but one photo of my brother and removed all his clothing from the house. Kouri put together a golf tournament in Eric's name 2 months after his death on what would have been his 40th birthday and told his family, all of us, that we were not allowed to attend. Since Eric's death, it has come to our attention that Kouri took out multiple life insurance policies on Eric without his knowledge. It appears that she forged his signature on various documents, assigned herself as Eric's durable power of attorney, inappropriately diverted money from his business to herself, and assigned herself as beneficiary of Eric's portion of our mother's retirement account. I should also not forget to mention.
Yeah. I want his mother's money as well. Yeah, no. I'm not going to let that. No, that should come to me. I was the wife, so we were married, so everything he has is me. Me and mine, and I want it, so give me the mother's money.
That we were not allowed to attend. Since Eric's death, it has come to our attention that Kouri took out multiple life insurance policies on Eric without his knowledge. It appears that she...
What? This is from June 2023? Oh! Okay, I've completely fucked up. Christina, did you not know that either?
Forged his signature on various documents, assigned herself as Eric's durable power of attorney, inappropriately
God, I can't believe that. I'm going to have to go and change the description. I thought this was today.
Diverted money from his business to herself and assigned herself as beneficiary of Eric's portion of our mother's retirement account. I should also not forget to mention the multiple life insurances she has taken out on the boys. Her most recent business venture was authoring a children's book about how to help grieving children.
Right, so this is a bail hearing way before. Okay, right, I got it. Fuck. It's been a very busy day.
Cope with the loss of the death of a parent. In this book, she had the audacity to use the boys' real names and even use their last family portrait. Her behavior gives me great...
God, if I was the Richinses, I think I'd want to get every copy of that book back, yeah? Have we looked into it? Christina, see if we can get a copy of this book. Or I can do it. It's the World Wide Web. But if you see one in a garage sale, anyone go into Utah? Or is it worldwide? Go through the garage. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Something like this. If it's been in circulation, was it actually... I don't think it was in a shop or anything, was it? It was just like Amazon. I wonder how many sold. How many are out there? Because people, I think, was it, Patty, Patty, she didn't she say she found Wendy's book in a garage sale, just in some old box? And then someone else, who was it that found a copy that had Wendy's writing in it?
Concern, as she has exploited the boys for money and will likely do so again. In addition, Kouri has weaponized Eric's children, manipulating my dad to do or not do things by threatening to come in to cut.
Yeah, and what about the hair, Michelle? That's pretty good, isn't it? And no extensions here. That's all real. But it's what do you call it? Colored.
Him out of their lives if he did not capitulate to her demands. She similarly deprived the boys of contact with myself, my sister, and her daughters unless we agreed to give her the money in Eric's trust. Money that Eric wanted to go to his 3 children. As if that were not enough, I've been told that Kouri started telling their 3 little boys that none of Eric's family or friends loved them. She apparently told them none of us cared for them or wanted to be around them, even though that is the exact opposite of what was happening. We all want nothing more than to be there for those 3 little boys, my nephews, yet Kouri has made sure to cut us out of every aspect of their lives. This is all just a brief summary and the start of what our family has been through over the last year. We have scarcely gone a day without finding out some new allegations or evidence regarding something Kouri appears to have maliciously done to attack and undermine my brother, his 3 little boys, and our family. We have all been there since the beginning of Kouri's and Eric's relationship. I was there on one of their first dates. We were there at the wedding. We were there when each of the boys were born. We have been there for every birthday party, school graduation, and rodeo. We welcomed her into our family and treated her as one of us. Not only did she betray our brother, it feels as though she has murdered and taken away a part of our souls as well. Because of her actions, there has not been a day that has gone by we have not lived with paralyzing anxiety and fear, worrying for the boys' lives as well as our own. I may be naive, but I never knew evil like this existed. If Kouri was in fact willing to kill Eric for money, who's to say that what she will not do? Who would be next? Kouri was in a desperate financial situation when Eric was killed, and that situation seems even worse now. We understand that she has defaulted on loans and is already a defendant in other lawsuits based on her financial misdeeds. I am truly concerned that she will stop at nothing to dig her way out of the problems, including murder. She seems devoid of moral sensibility, and there is no telling what she will do if she is released. Judge Mrazek, her fate lies in your hands. Please do not allow Kouri to use the fraudulent life insurance proceeds to get out on bail. That would be morally reprehensible. Please do not allow Kouri to take advantage and make a mockery of our justice and legal system anymore. She has done enough. Please do not allow Kouri to hurt Eric's memory, our family, friends, and community anymore. We have been through enough. Please do.
Michelle, this message, I thought it said Merry Christmas. It says Metrix Christina, which is how you say Merry Christmas in Santo Domingo. Metrix. Christina and I were talking earlier about how absolutely stunning her hair is. Right. Yeah, no, it is. It's fantastic, isn't it? And themed with the courtroom. Fantastic.
Do not give Kouri the opportunity to hurt Eric's 3 boys anymore. They have lost enough and have been through enough. Since Eric's death, we have learned and unfortunately are continually reminded that Kouri is desperate, greedy, and extremely.
How the fuck do you tell some 9-year-old kid, or whatever they are, 9, 6, I think it's 9, at the time of the murder it was 9, 7 and 5, I think, right? How do you tell, like, okay, your dad's dead and your mother killed him and she's going away forever as well. So you're going to live with us, and here's an ATV.
Manipulative. If she gets out on bail, I will be afraid not only for my own life and those of all of my family, but most importantly for the lives of Eric's 3 sons. Our family has already suffered enough. Please do not let Kouri out on bail where she will be a risk to do further harm. Please protect what Eric put his life on the line for, his 3 boys. Thank you.
Amy, thank you.
Pretty effective. So what, should we have a look at what happened in court on Thursday? Or go back to Wednesday? Let's have a look at today first. What day is it? 12? No. 13.
This witness, just so we're all on the same page.
Just give us a second.
No problem.
It's very long, so we have to go right to it. Just give us just 1 minute.
Oh, what's she got on now? Oh my god, what is that? She looks like she works at a bank. I bet she'd love to work at a bank. All that money. Or a fast food. It's a Pollos Hermanos. Pollos Hermanos. A chicken shop. Where's the uniform for that? I think it's the exact same shade of yellow. We'll see. Close enough. Close enough. Little red apron. Little hat. Do you reckon that guy's a YouTuber? Where's all the YouTubers? If this was Tallahassee, it'd be packed with podcasters. Oh, this guy's still on again?
Yes. And I want to start by having you review a document that's been agreed to by the parties. It is
Cheap Walmart clothing, you can tell. Are you sure that wasn't Valentino Couture?
exhibit number 3-40. And at this point, Your Honor, we're asking to admit it per stipulation of the parties.
So the witness can see 3-40. And do we want to publish now, counsel?
Okay, paisley tie with a check shirt. No.
And at this point, Your Honor, we're asking to admit it per stipulation of the parties.
Could you even call that paisley? I mean, it's heading that way, isn't it? Close enough. You don't put a fucking paisley tie with a check shirt. What's wrong with you?
So the witness can see 3-40. And
he's got a little tie clip thing as well. I mean, why would you need one of those for court? Why would you need one anyway? If you're going to be running and don't want it flapping around, I mean... Paisley tie check shirt. Wow. Yeah, great. There it is.
do we want to publish now, counsel?
Please.
Mr. Bloodworth?
No objections.
State's Exhibit 3-40 is admitted.
All right, and This was talked about when, I believe it was Mr. Kostradimos, I think, it's all blurring together now, was on the stand. But this is the group of all the GIFs or the GIFs that were in kind of a group, and included the ones that were accessed on the morning after the police left Ms. Richins' home, after Mr. Richins passed. Do you remember the testimony about that?
Yes.
Okay. Can we go to the page that shows the GIFs in question?
The GIFs.
Maybe blow that up at the top.
It's GIFs.
Okay. So I think that's two of them. One of them is from, I guess, the movie Dumb and Dumber. And the other one is our president.
Oh, nice. Getting the jury to cast their minds back to the first time they saw Dumb and Dumber and thinking, you know, that was funny.
And I think there was a third one, but it's...
Make the jury crack a smile goes a long way. Goes a long way.
Yeah. Mr. Spacey and in a TV program.
What was that thing called? It was called House of Cards, right?
Right? And those are the three GIFs that were talked about. And if you blow up the time that they were accessed, they all were accessed at 8:29:03 a.m. on March the 4th. That's the day that Mr. Richins was found deceased, correct?
Correct.
Right. And I know we've already heard the testimony that these are what we call orphaned GIFs. You can't really tell which text they came with and exactly when they were sent or who they were sent to or by. All we know is that they were somehow accessed at that point by her phone, correct?
That was the testimony, Mr. Kostradimos, yes.
Okay, can you pull up another one of the photos that is the picture from the house? That's it. All right. This is another picture that was accessed at that exact moment at 8:29. And can you blow the picture up a little bit? Do you recognize what that is, that photograph?
It's the legacy home.
It's the legacy home, right? And was there another photo that was accessed that same morning, also orphaned? Can you find that picture? It's right above it, I think. There we go. Can you blow that picture up a little bit? Thank you. All right. And is that also just a closer up view of the legacy mansion?
It appears so. It's very blurry on my screen.
It is. I think it is blurry. And then can you back out and show the time that one was accessed according to this same group of photos? That one appears to have been accessed at 10:42 a.m. the same morning.
That's what this document says, yes. Okay.
Now, if we could put just on the witness's screen, exhibit JO, I think it's 11, not for the publication yet, Your Honor.
Understood.
All right. And can you take just a moment and blow that up just a little?
I'll have 8 pieces meal, extra spicy, with a sour cream chive and barbecue dip, with a Coke, a large Coke.
A bit so he can read it better.
Do you have those Southwest potato wedges? Okay, some of those, and fries, please. Just, yeah, the fries and extra wedges. Is ketchup free?
Right. Just take a second and scroll through that and tell me if that refreshes your recollection about any documents you reviewed about Eric's final communications before he passed.
Your Honor, objection. There's there's no foundation to get to whether or not his recollection requires refreshment.
Yeah, let's pause there. Would you lay a little bit of foundation before we get there?
Sure, and it requires us to go back to yesterday. So yesterday I had asked you right before we stopped if you had, as part of your investigation, reviewed the final communications of Eric right before he passed away, and you mentioned you had. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Based on that, if you could refresh, do you recall the communications you reviewed that day?
Not all of them. Some of them, yeah.
Can we then please blow up this document in front of him and see if this refreshes your recollection as to what you reviewed?
Mr. Bloodworth, the witness doesn't have it yet. Any objection to that question?
Your Honor, I think the objection foundation, I think there requires additional foundation.
I think the question pending is, are these among the things he reviewed, correct?
Maybe I misunderstood the pending.
Yeah.
That's the question.
So I think,
Can we back up a step? Maybe I'll catch up.
sure. Ms. Nestor, ask your last question one more time, please.
Are these texts that are before you part of what you reviewed from Eric's final communications on his phone?
Go one step before that. He hasn't seen these yet. He doesn't currently have them in front of him.
Do you recall all of the communications you saw that day when you were reviewing Eric's final communications?
All the texts from his phone?
Yes.
On the day before he died?
Yes.
I don't remember all of them. I remember some of them.
So then, would you please look at this document and see if it refreshes your recollection and as to whether these were included in his communications?
Any objection, Mr. Bloodworth?
No, sir.
Okay. The witness can now see what you're referring to, Ms. Nestor.
Thank you, Your Honor. And can you go down just one more and maybe blow that up a little, that photo? Does this refresh your recollection, these communications of Eric's and Kouri's the day he died?
These are time-stamped March 3rd. That's not the day he died, but the day before he died.
Totally correct, because he died in, we think, the early morning hours of the 4th, right?
Yeah, he was pronounced deceased on the 4th.
They don't know.
Okay.
They don't know when and they don't know how.
Yes,
So-
Your Honor. Sorry. Objection foundation is to the meaning of died, right? He was pronounced dead.
I think
Foundation is to the meaning of died. He was dead.
the witness and the questioning lawyer have a common understanding here. Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, so were these included in what you reviewed in the communications between Eric and Kouri on the 3rd of March?
Yes.
All right. And this photograph, if you could blow that up.
Your Honor, objection. His recollection has been refreshed. I think the exhibit can now be set aside.
I'm not publishing it. I've just got one more question about the photo, and then I'm done.
I'll take it down and ask your question. If we need to refresh again, you can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Wait, did you tell me I could ask the question?
Yeah, I took the photo down. Ask whatever you're about to
Yes,
ask.
yes.
Okay.
Does the photo that you just refreshed your recollection with match the same photo that we just saw in 340? That was the corner of the Midway Mansion.
Your Honor, the photo's still up on my screen, and the witness is
My apologies. There you go.
staring at it.
Sorry. Is it the same photo, sir?
This one that we just saw that was enlarged, you're asking if that's the same as the one in the text message?
Does it match the one that we just put on the screen for the jurors that came with all those other pictures that morning?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I have. Done with that. I'm sorry, maybe I'm not. Can I have just one moment, Your Honor?
Of course.
Okay. One more step. If we could go back to 340, which has been admitted, and pull up some additional gifts that were accessed at that same time. If we could pull those up, please.
Sure. There you go.
Okay, so there's the picture on the bottom left-hand corner of the Midway Mansion house, right?
Yes.
And that one was accessed at 10:42 a.m. the morning of the 4th?
Yes.
And the one with the champagne is also that exact same time?
Yes.
And the one with the farmer is that exact same time?
Yes.
And we know for sure that the one on the bottom left was sent the day before. Because we just looked at that, right? And you refreshed your recollection.
Yeah, I don't know if the part of the extraction that we're looking at right now is saying that that's where that came from. I don't know if that's the same file path, but that photo is the same.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, we can take that down now. All right, I also want to talk to you about, sorry, startle me. I also want to talk to you about the Google searches that were testified about here that were on Ms. Richins' phone or computer or both. Did you review those as part of your investigation?
Yes.
All right. And were you able to determine dates on all of those searches when they were made?
I don't believe so. Yeah, that would be a question for Mr. Koutrodimos. I remember seeing the searches and the text of the searches, but I believe he testified that that there wasn't a timestamp associated with them, and that they differed from the action in the phone that showed that a link was actually clicked on from one of those searches.
Okay, perfect.
And I believe those had timestamps.
Okay, the links, but maybe not the searches.
Correct.
Thank you for that clarification. And you agree that as of April the 13th of 2022, approximately a month and a few days after Eric passed away, that Ms. Richins' house was searched and she was detained in a police vehicle, right?
Objection, Your Honor.
Foundation.
Foundation, yeah.
Sustained. Lay a little foundation there.
Are you aware that there was a search conducted on her house on April 13th?
On Miss Richins' house?
Yes.
Yes.
And are you aware that while that search was being conducted, Ms. Richins was temporarily detained in a police vehicle for a period of time?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for a legal conclusion.
Overruled on that.
Go ahead.
I think the word detained is the problem there. I think there's been dispute over whether or not she was detained. But she was spoken to. She was asked to wait in law enforcement's vehicle until the lead detective could come speak to her about what was going on with the search.
Okay. So the searches on the website, fair to say that all of those searches are believed to have occurred after April 13th of 2022?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know there were timestamps on the searches, so I can't be sure.
Did you ever interview any of Kouri's family or friends and ask them if they were responsible for any of those, or if they'd ever seen Kouri do it, or who did those searches?
No.
Okay. All right, I'd like to talk about the orange notebook for just a moment. We pulled up, do we have the, do you have that orange notebook exhibit? I can't remember the number of it. Court's indulgence for just a minute, I have the number. I've got it. I'll tell you. Just one moment, I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's hard to keep all these exhibits straight. Can we put up Exhibit 2-66R? It's admitted, Your Honor. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Before we do that, can we put up Exhibit, 2-66R? That's correct. We don't have they redacted part of it, and we don't have that.
Scott, 2-66R, please.
Would he be so kind? I don't want to accidentally put something up that was redacted, Your Honor.
My apologies. We'll fix that. It's okay. One moment, please. Scott, if we do our normal dance, I'd appreciate it.
Yes. Problem, Your Honor.
Two 66R, publish.
Yes, please, Your Honor.
There you go.
All right, and can we, that's the, what we like to call the orange notebook, right? Because it's like in an orange kid's school notebook, right?
Correct.
Okay, and can you fast forward, Katie, to, until I tell you to stop? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, right there. And can you blow out the bottom third of the page? All right, so this orange notebook that was recovered from the house, you don't have any knowledge about the circumstances under which it was prepared, do you? Or why it was written?
I do not.
And you don't know when it was written?
No, I don't.
And this was seized the day Ms. Richins was arrested, which was May 8th, 2023, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
So over a year after Eric's death, right?
Correct.
All right, and here on there is an entry that says on March the 22nd, can you highlight that please, Katie? Kouri starts counseling. Do you see that? Oh, you need to say yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sorry.
Bit late for that, Kouri. That should have come a year before Eric's death. Kouri starts counseling. What else have we got on here? Met with funeral home. Signed W. Waiver. What was that? Auth? Something. Funeral, March 11th. Kouri starts. Kouri starts counseling. Boys started counseling. Detective Woody called and asked to talk on the 12th or 13th. Sky told me to tell her the 14th. April 13th, search warrant of house. March 28th, filed first complaint against the trust for the house. May 3rd, filed for partial summary judgment on something. January 10th, Woody calls Shells in for an interview. 12th, Shells goes in for interview. Is tied to that she was the last person I talked to. Seems excessive. Seems like most of that you should be able to fucking remember, right?
Did you take any steps to verify if that actually was the date she started doing mental health counseling?
I didn't learn anything about her counseling from interviews that we conducted. We did get Kouri's medical records, and I don't remember if a mental health counselor was part of those, but that's possible.
And I imagine as a, I forgot the word you used, as a serious crime investigator, homicide investigator, detective, death scene investigator, you've dealt with a lot of victims and family members who've been traumatized by a death and have required counseling. Is that fair?
My involvement with victims doesn't usually go that far to know whether they sought counseling or not. We refer them to the Victims Advocate Service, and they're much more equipped to help them with that.
Great. And have you ever heard of what's called trauma journaling?
No.
Do you know what that is?
Wow, it was listed over $3,000, huh? Well, we're not going to buy that then. But if anyone's in Utah, go around some, well, I suppose it's... What if we could find out how many were sold? It could be just some book in a box worth $3,000. Keep an eye out for the sick book.
Okay.
Your Honor, maybe approach him.
I'll move on. I'm done with that. You
Are
don't know,
we
so-
approaching or moving on?
Why? We're moving on to the subject matter. No need to approach.
Got it.
We are moving on from the subject matter.
Very good.
All right, you also talked about the fact that you found it, I think you said suspicious, but I don't want to put that word in your mouth, but it was...
Good one right in there, nice. I have Wendy's signed book. That's... Wow. Something else.
of significance to you that Carmen had placed Mr. Richins' obituary on her memory wall or her inspiration wall or whatever. Is that right?
I noticed it, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it was something that caught my eye.
Did you happen to notice if there were any other obituaries right around it or next to it?
No, I didn't particularly notice.
Can we pull up exhibit? Yes, thank you. The second one, 816R, I think. Oh, it's 15? Okay, 815R. And that's in, Your Honor, if we could publish it.
I can't see it yet, Katie. Oh, you don't have it. My apologies.
Oh, that one's got things
Would
blurred.
you help us out? Thank you. Let's see. This is
Yeah.
8-15R. Let me just make sure this is the one you intended, Ms. Nestor.
That is the one.
And Judge does. Katie does have this one. You wanted to switch back.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to need her to blow it up. Can we
One.
switch it back to her, please? I'm so sorry.
No problem.
There was a recent version where they blurred a lot of children's faces out and stuff. Okay. Do you remember this picture we introduced of Mr. Richins' obituary on her memory wall?
Yes.
Can you please blow that up, Katie, to show what's right beside it or right under it? Do you see another in loving memory right below it?
Yeah, it looks like a program pamphlet from a funeral.
Okay. All right. Also, the C&E hat, I believe, that was on that wall that you noticed. Did you do any investigation to determine if Carmen actually, if Carmen actually did any work for C&E?
Yeah, based on our
C&E.
conversations, she never worked for C&E as a company. She did work on the Richins house. She interacted with Eric, but she was never employed by C&E.
Okay. All right. I also want to show you a text. As part of your investigation of reviewing texts between Eric and Kouri, Katie, if you could pull up Exhibit 2- I believe it's 9. 2-3. Thank you. That's it. Before you look at that, do you recall trying to determine, investigating whether or not Kouri was aware prior to Eric's death that at least some, maybe not the house, but at least some of the assets that belonged to them or to Eric were shielded under some kind of a trust, if she was aware of that before he passed?
Yeah, that was part of our investigation.
All right. And did you review conversations she had with people about that and texts about that and things about that?
I didn't have any recorded conversations that she had had. I guess it depends on the timing that you're asking about.
Okay. I'd like to refresh your recollection and see if you look at these texts, if it reminds you if this is one of the things you looked at in trying to make that determination, okay?
Okay.
Can you blow that up? It's Exhibit 2-3D as in Delta. And just let him look at all of them, please. Just slowly. Give him plenty of time to read. Can you go back up? I think we're missing that one. There you go, the next page. Does this refresh your recollection? Do you remember looking at this set of texts between Kouri and Eric?
No, I didn't have time to finish reading that.
Oh, sorry. Keep letting him read it.
Okay.
Does that refresh your recollection? Do you remember reviewing this series of texts between Kouri and Eric relating to the trust?
I don't remember, and the context of those messages, I can't say that that's what they're talking about.
Okay, so this does not refresh your recollection.
No.
Okay, court's indulgence for just one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I approach the state?
No, that's not true. It's hearsay.
We're working on something, but I'm going to ask a couple more, move back, and then we may come back to it when she's done looking. So was it your understanding, without saying anything anyone told you, when you were conducting your investigation, did you become aware that Kouri knew of at least some portion of the some aspect of the trust being created before Eric passed?
Objection, Your Honor. More foundation, otherwise it's based on hearsay.
The foundation objection is sustained based upon the witness's prior answer. If you can start smaller, maybe build up to it. There may be some foundation here.
Did you interview people, look at documents, review texts to try to inform your investigation as to whether Kouri knew that Eric had created a trust for at least some portion of their assets prior to his death?
I reviewed information about the trust from several different.
I reviewed information about the trust. Okay, let's go to the letter, shall we? Let's read this goddamn letter. What is it? Walk the dog. But take vague notes so you remember. Sky is saying even if the gummies have fentanyl in them, even if the gummies have fentanyl in them, the prosecutor will say, I tried to put the fentanyl in the gummies so Eric would have them. Stupid, I know, but that's what she's thinking. We will still test them, though. Oh. Must be the first time ever that marijuana gummies have been tested for fentanyl. However, she wants to link Eric getting drugs and something from Mexico. So we need some kind of connection. Her private investigator is doing some research on the ranch cartel place Eric would stay at. Here is what I'm thinking, but you have to talk to Ronnie. He would probably have to testify to this, but it's super short, not something, what does that say? I don't know. Nothing to it. He will need to tell Sky at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief, just like you say, a year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and Eric and Ronnie were chatting about Eric's Mexico trips. Like drug trip, right? marijuana gummy trip. Eric told Ronnie he gets pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico. So she's just telling her what to say. Yeah. That's what he said. Of course, he's not here to confirm. From Mexico, from the workers at the ranch. Not to tell me, because I would get mad, because I always said he just gets high every night and won't help take care of the kids. There are pictures in my phone of Eric passed out on the floor or in the chair. The guy lifts boulders for a living, okay? He needs a rest. Ronnie should have texts from Eric talking about getting high as well. Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck so I wouldn't find them. Ronnie never told me about the conversation. Eric finally told me and asked if Carmen could get him some. Eric never wanted anyone to know he had an issue, especially get caught. He always wanted Kouri to go down for him. When they travelled, Eric would put his drugs in Kouri's bag at the airlines. Maybe. Right before they boarded. That way, if they were caught, Kouri got in trouble, not him. Once they got to wherever they were going, Eric would pull the drugs out of her bag and it would cause a huge fight. She was pissed. He would risk her going to jail for his drug use. He just would laugh about it. Eric couldn't ruin his image that he had drug issues, so he would do whatever he had to. Kouri has never done any type of pills, didn't like them. Well, how do you know if you didn't ever have any? Rarely would she consume THC, only if Eric begged her because it was a special occasion. Reward, he was probably just trying to make her calm down and be quiet. Have a gummy. It's a special occasion. It's Wednesday. Dinner time. Have a gummy. Reword this, however, he needs to make the point. Just include it all. The connection has to be made with Mexico and drugs. Ronnie will have the messages to prove Eric confided in him about getting high. It can be short and to the point, but has to be done. Upon information and belief, lol, they never found pain pills or fentanyl in my house because he had it in an allergy bottle in work truck. And Cody emptied out work truck within a week, so they were never found. When you talk to Ronnie about this, meet up with him in person. I worry sometimes your house and phone are bugged. Maybe drive down to South Carolina and meet him after work without bringing without Bree Sky. Has to make the connection between Eric and Mexico because that makes the most sense in her mind. if it's Ronnie's information and belief about the conversation over football, she can use that as a connection. Tell Ronnie, don't overanalyze it. It was a quick 2-minute conversation. Lol. Tell him I need him to do this. Bring me home and then we will get those damn bitches. Also, please text Lotto or call. Tell him, do not text me anything about us doing things together ever. Like church, skiing, trips, nothing that puts us together. It doesn't look good. Church, skiing, and trips. We're so close to the end. Let's push through. Well, that's good advice for anyone. We're so close to the end. Let's push through. Have the conversation with Ronnie before he meets with Sky. Then tell him to tell Sky at the meeting about the conversation. Hang in there. We're almost there. I love you to the moon. Take vague notes of all this so you remember before you walk the dog. I saw a commercial yesterday, Utah Mortgage Relief. Google them, please. It's for people behind on their mortgage. Can you see if they can help at all on what is it? Something house, please. We have to get hers, yours, and Chelsea's taken care of ASAP. Try to go to that place in Camas. What about asking Lotto to do a loan solely in her name and not have you on there or me? I know he can do a home equity line of credit on his house in Hideout. Not sure if he would, but I know he has like $1 million in equity. Maybe he just doesn't know about a something home equity. If he wants to help me, taking care of these loans is most important. I don't give a shit about the yotels. Remember I told you one way to get at Katie is going through my phone and finding a picture of her girls, even with the boys, print 15 copies and send them out anonymously to different media companies. Obviously don't email the pictures so it's not traceable. What? Hang on. Oh, email. Don't send by email so it's not traceable. She would be livid if it got out to the public. You would just have to do it sneakily and be careful. She would try and trace it back to you. If not, no worries. What the hell? Wow. Let's read that again. Remember I told you one way to get at Katie is going through my phone and finding a picture of her girls, even with the boys, print 15 copies and send them out anonymously to different media companies. Obviously don't email the pictures so it's not traceable. She would be livid if it got out to the public. You would just have to do it sneakily and be careful. She would try and trace it back to you. If not, no worries. Dark. Target the children. Sky is having my girls do the first interview. With Good Morning America, please tell Chelsea to bring up that he hasn't been to church in the 13 years she has known him, and Eric would brag about how much he drank and did pills in high school. Tell Kelsey to say Eric always wanted Kouri to go down for him. For example, he would put drugs in her suitcase when we would travel together. So if anyone got caught, it was Kouri. He would put it in her bag right before they left the house, so Kouri didn't know. Then, when we would land wherever, Eric would take them out of her bag, and Kouri would be pissed. Didn't we read this already? This is page 5. I think it is different. She's just written it twice. And Kouri would be pissed, and they would argue about it, and Kelsey... Oh, no. Kelsey to say, how Eric didn't care and would just laugh about it and say, well, I can't get in trouble, as if it was okay that I got in trouble. Have Selma talk to Eric in Spain, not being able to drink, so he was looking for drugs the entire time, and explain the drink the waitress gave him and how I called his doctor and went to the pharmacy immediately. Have Ali talk about how the sisters have always been jealous of me because anything they could do, Kouri could do better. Being a mom, college, stay-at-home wife until she built a $1 million company, a nice house, car, everything they wanted. This comes down to jealousy, money, and Eric's partying that they don't want to acknowledge, and sadly, an accidental overdose. Lastly, yeah, you cut off about it. Sadly. Lastly, don't forget to work on the gun receipts. We want to file charges and let the prosecutor not do anything about it. To use in our defense. Will you buy a box of Crest white strips, open them up, put in an envelope, and have Sky give them to me? You can tell her what's in the envelope. I'm sure she won't care. I'll make sure they can be found in my cell. My teeth are yellow from so much coffee and tea all day. I love you, I love you, I love you. Hang in there. We're getting there. Slowly. You're the best mom in the whole world. I'm so lucky to have you. Please go and do all of the corrupt shit I just told you to do. On record. Yeah, please. Please, Mom, you're the best mom. You're the best corrupt mom ever. Good. Crazy letter. So what's that big thing at the front? The walk the dog thing? What is that? Why is it so big at the top there? It's a secret message or what? What is it? W? What letter of the number of the alphabet is W? Z, Y, X, W. It is 23. 23. March 2nd. The day before the murder.
Sources. Everything that I reviewed suggested that she was not aware of how the trust worked or the consequences of the trust.
Totally fair. I think you're right about that. But was she aware that it existed?
Objection, Your Honor. Same foundation objection.
Overruled based upon his prior answer. You can answer, Detective.
I can't think of a specific instance, but I think there was some information that might have suggested that.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now I want to talk about Valentine's Day. You were here when Ms. Staking testified to the jury that in a conversation with a bunch of friends, there was some joking references made to Kouri wanting to poison Eric, and then Eric stating he had an allergic reaction and used an EpiPen. You heard that testimony, right?
Objection, Your Honor, foundation. That's not what happened.
I think your recitation of Ms. Staking's testimony was correct until the last either sentence or clause.
Okay. Did you become aware that at least in some context there was a discussion on about the Valentine's Day incident relating to Eric taking an EpiPen, using an EpiPen?
Ms. Staking, from my memory, testified that there was a comment made by Eric in a joking manner that Kouri had tried to poison him. And then she said that Kouri's explanation was that it was an allergic reaction.
And that he used an EpiPen, right? Didn't she say that was the very last thing she said, I think?
I think so.
Okay, so did you do any investigation into whether or not Eric was treated regularly for allergies?
Yes.
And in fact, he had an allergy doctor, is that correct?
Yes.
And he had an EpiPen device in the master bathroom that was recovered during the first search?
Probably. I know that there were some located in the refrigerator on one of the searches. EpiPens, that is.
Did you ever investigate whether Eric discussed this allergic reaction with his doctor, his allergy doctor?
I believe one of our investigators contacted the allergy doctor and conducted an interview. I don't remember what the results or content of that interview was.
Did you determine what Eric was allergic to? Was he allergic to avocados or wheat or peanut oil? Do you know?
From what I remember.
Were they fentanyl-laced avocados? Because if they weren't, we can leave it out of the trial. I'll have the avocado toast, please, with extra fentanyl. Salt, pepper, and pure fentanyl. And I'd like 5 times the lethal dose on my toast.
I remember being told by the investigator that had that conversation, it was like seasonal allergies, trees, grasses, dander, things like that.
Okay. Were you ever able to confirm that Eric ever sought any medical treatment for what allegedly happened to him on February 14th?
Just that in his text message, he mentioned that he might go to the hospital. So I don't know for sure if he did, but he was feeling bad enough that he thought he might need to.
Were you ever able to confirm that he did?
No.
Okay. All right, I want to also talk to you about Miss Susan Kohler. Do you know who Susan Kohler is?
Yes.
Who is Susan Kohler?
She's an associate of Carmen Lauber's. She worked for Doreen Kouri cleaning houses with Carmen Lauber.
Okay. And in the course of your investigation, what did you determine, if anything, was the role that Susan Kohler played with respect to this case?
We determined that she sold, I think the number was 15 to 20 Roxy's or prescription narcotic pain pills to Carmen at the request of Miss Richins.
Okay. And was Miss Susan Kohler offered immunity like Crozier and Carmen Lauber were?
Objection, Your Honor.
Do you know?
What's the basis of the objection, Mr. Bloodworth? Or do you need to approach?
Relevancy.
Approach for 1 second. Ms.
We found a bag of loose, I believe they were hydrocodone pills, in the mudroom walkway cabinet in the house. They were tested. They did not contain fentanyl.
Thank you. You also testified, I think, yesterday that shortly before Eric passed away, he went on a hunting trip to Mexico. We talked about that a little bit, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Was there any effort made to try to track Eric Richins' phone movements while he was in Mexico during that time period?
I don't believe we were able to get any kind of GPS location data from Eric's phone. I think the location data came from call detail records, as was demonstrated by Mr. Cocherdimos.
Okay. And you also reviewed the phone calls Well, strike that. I'll strike that, Your Honor. Okay, I think I'm almost done. If I can just confer with counsel, I'm going to wrap it up. Anything else? Anything else? All right, we're almost done. So just to recap a couple of days of testimony that got interrupted a lot. This investigation has now extended for a period of over 4 years, right?
Correct.
Okay. And during that 4 years period of time, as recently as less than a month ago, you were still issuing search warrants. Is that right?
Yes.
And there were a total of at least 10 searches by law enforcement of Ms. Richins' home. Is that right?
There were 10 search warrants issued, yeah.
And
Or around 10.
you heard that there's also at least 5 multi-day searches by a private investigator. Is that right?
I don't remember if it was 5 days. He said a couple days.
And the agencies that were involved in this case were the Summit County Sheriff, right?
Correct.
The Medical Examiner's Office.
They're not a law enforcement agency.
Well, they have investigator, right? She testified here.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a civilian investigator.
Fair. Also, there was a private investigator that was involved in this case and communicated with you and provided information.
No, he was involved in the civil case.
Did he provide you information?
He provided our office information. I never talked to him personally.
All right.
This guy takes his job very seriously, doesn't he? You can tell that he knows every detail. If ever there was a guy that is like constantly getting promotions, it's him.
The DEA was involved in this case, at least briefly.
They never took any official action. Well, I should restate that. They assisted us with forensic tools,
Okay.
like call detail records and things like that.
Homeland Security agent, or I'm sorry, U.S. Postal Service agent was at one of the searches, right?
Yeah, I was aware of that.
Oh, I love it when the Postal Service get involved. They're great.
We've heard, I believe that we're over 45 witnesses now in this trial. Is that right?
I haven't been counting.
And in all of that, we have no murder weapon. Like, you haven't found anything that was connected to Eric's death. No fentanyl in the house, correct?
There was a boatload of fentanyl in his stomach that came out of the house with him.
Other than this, what's in his stomach? Did you find anything else that had fentanyl in it?
No.
Okay.
Wow, that was a bit of a passive aggressive, no? There was a load of fentanyl in his stomach, and his stomach was in the house. That your client put there.
You can't say how the fentanyl was administered, right?
Orally.
Besides orally.
That's all I know is that he took it orally.
We don't know exactly when it happened and what time of night or morning.
We know a time range.
Okay. You can't say the dosage that was ingested, right? 1 pill, 2 pill, 20 pills.
Illicit fentanyl does not come in dosages.
Okay.
Whoa, good answer. Illicit fentanyl does not come in doses. Well, it's still a dosage. Whatever dose is taken is the dosage, right?
You can't say what was ingested on Valentine's Day at all, correct?
Fentanyl is definitely ingested. Oh, I'm sorry, on Valentine's Day.
Yes, on Valentine's Day.
Hey, Nikki Love, you're a Postal Service employee? That's fantastic. I can see by how much you love your letters.
No, we don't have any kind of medical examiner's report of his stomach contents from that day.
And on insurance fraud, we have not heard any testimony about any representations that Kouri Richins made.
And it's funny, isn't it? Because Nikki Love's the one that always comes in here and puts strange letters in a strange font. And now we found out that she works with letters, but the other kind. Pretty cool. Pretty great.
To her insurance company, have we?
Objection, Your Honor.
If you put a word to it. Foundation.
Well, foundation also probably then hearsay.
Would you approach her one second?
I don't think Mr. Bloodworth feels confident at all. I don't know what's wrong with him. Whether he was meant to be only driving the hearse, right? But now they've got him on pallbearer duty. That could be a distraction. He's probably sat on his own top hat. He's got to get that repaired. Brand new beaver pelt. Maybe Eric Richins would have had some in his property. A garage full of beaver pelts to ship to 19th century Europe. You know, so at some point, not that long ago, this guy that we're looking at, Jeff O'Driscoll, had a beard that was less full than it is now, yeah? And he probably kept it less full for quite some time. And then one day, thought to himself, you know what? I wonder what it'd look like if I just, you know, give it let it get a bit of body to it, yeah? Let it get a bit of body, and then one day my beard will have a mind of its own. Twice the brain power for my detective work. Flight attendant. Also, the shirt is, what have we got? We have Pollos Hermanos employee, flight attendant, and bank teller, right? That's the shirt. That's the three uniforms that would go well. Are there any others? Can't think of any right now.
State's objections are overruled. If you would restate that question, if you can, exactly.
I will. And we've not heard any testimony in this case about statements or representations Kouri made to her insurance company, correct?
Not statements. We've heard evidence about it.
Okay. And with respect to the forgery count, we've not heard any testimony one way or the other whether Eric gave Kouri permission to sign his name on documents, have we?
I don't think that's required to meet the forgery statute.
Have we heard anything about that? Do you know one way or the other whether Eric allowed Kouri to sign his name on documents as a married couple?
No, but that's still signing someone else's name, even if they give you permission, purporting it to be somebody else's signature.
Okay, well, the judge is going to instruct the jury on what the law is about that. But what I'm asking you is, as the investigator, do you have any knowledge one way or the other if Eric ever said to her, hey, it's okay with me, sign my name, I don't have time to deal with it?
I don't know.
And in fact, what we have heard is that he did give her at least one power of attorney at some point years ago, right?
Objection. Well, not objection. Maybe approach.
Sure.
Thank you.
And you heard him say that he could not say that Kouri Richins was who signed that document. Did you hear him say that?
I heard him say that it was probably
not Eric.
Probably not Eric.
But he could not say that it was signed by Kouri, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I think that's it. I appreciate your patience. Thank you, Detective. Thank you, Your Honor. We tender the witness.
Mr. Bloodworth, within the scope of cross, please.
Detective O'Driscoll, in this case, are you the lead investigator among many investigators?
Yeah, it's a large team. I've had a lot of help.
Does your job in part involve coordinating the activities of all the other sheriff's office investigators?
Yes.
And are you the lead investigator for the sheriff's office as opposed to the county attorney's office?
Correct. I have no authority over what the prosecutor's investigator does.
And does the county's, well, you may have just answered this, but does the county attorney's office have its own investigation capability and authority?
Yes.
Is it your job as lead investigator to be omniscient regarding every investigative detail in this case, to include details of the county attorney's investigation?
No, I can't know every single detail. It's, as defense knows, terabytes of information.
And in early 2023, was your personal investigative focus on determining the source of the fentanyl that caused Eric Richins' death?
Yes, because like I said at the beginning, I came into the investigations division as a narcotics officer. Before I became the lead investigator on this case, that was our focus, is investigating drug-related crimes.
In early 2023, did the sheriff's office have a digital forensics capability even remotely close to the capabilities of Mr. Koutrodimos?
No, that's why we hired him.
And in early 2023, did the sheriff's office have any forensic accounting capability whatsoever?
In which year? Which day did you say?
Early 2023.
They had a little. I mean, how early? Not until March and April.
Well, let me ask you
January, zero.
And any forensics accounting capability close to that of Brooke Carrington?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say forensic accounting?
Forensic accounting.
I'm sorry. I misheard. I thought you said digital forensics. No, the sheriff's office has no experts in forensic accounting.
And is part of the reason that they have no forensics accounting experts and minimal digital forensics experts because you have a small office, right?
Yeah, it's relatively small.
Did the county attorney's office become involved in this case in early May of 2023 when it charged Kouri Richins?
Yes, we only met with the prosecutors about a week before to give them our probable cause information.
Subsequent to charging Ms. Richins, did the county attorney's office engage Mr. Koutrodimos and Ms. Carrington?
Yes.
And is Mr. Koutrodimos the investigator who analyzed the digital forensics, including cell tower mapping and cell phone data?
Yes.
And was it Ms. Carrington that investigated and analyzed the forensic accounting, including the closing on the Midway Mansion?
Yes.
And does the state provide the material from each of their investigations to the defense in discovery?
As far as I know, yes.
Do you recall in cross-examination when defense counsel picked a sentence from a May 2023 interview of Carmen Lauber, where it was either you or Detective Maynard told Carmen Lauber that she was something like the biggest piece of the puzzle?
Yes, I remember that.
What was the context of that comment?
She said something about, can we just lay out all the information, all the pieces in front of us? Because we were trying to establish a timeline. And we told her, you're the biggest piece. You're the biggest part of the information that we don't know. She had the information.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. And did that context involve a piece of the drug purchase timeline rather than a piece of this whole giant case?
Correct. The timeline of her involvement, not necessarily the entire case.
And did that interview predate any information on the forensic accounting?
Yes.
And
we didn't even get into that until well after.
And did it predate any of Mr. Koutrodimos' investigation?
Yes.
And did it predate your understanding of Kouri Richins' relationship with Josh Grossman?
Yes.
Do you recall whether that empty 2016 hydrocodone bottle that went with Eric Richins' body to the medical examiner's office was discarded by the medical examiner's office in August of 2022?
Back to hearsay.
Please lay some foundation. Sustained.
Do you recall what happened with the empty 2016 hydrocodone bottle?
Need my objection.
Detective, it's a yes or no. Start there.
Yes.
How do you know what happened with the 2016 empty hydrocodone bottle.
I was told by other investigators that they're
Objection.
Sustained on hearsay.
Did you or Detective Maynard give Carmen Lauber a ride to anywhere other than Wasatch County Drug Court or her attorney's office?
just here to this building.
To this building.
To
Or
meet
this
with prosecutors or talk with her attorney. They're here.
Can investigators force anyone to speak with them if that person does not want to speak with them?
No.
Can investigators seize someone's cell phone without a warrant based upon probable cause?
No. It has to be consent or a warrant.
At any time, have you believed that the walk the dog letter gave you probable cause to seek a warrant to seize Ronald Darden's cell phone?
No, it didn't contain enough information for me to have gotten a warrant.
Did your investigation determine that the EpiPens recovered from the
But you
Richins
looked
home
into it, huh?
were for one of the Richins' children?
Yes.
The GIF image. The one with Kevin Spacey that says, idiots, idiots everywhere. Is that from the TV show House of Cards?
From my understanding, yes.
Thank you.
And we know she likes the word idiots. She said idiots in that... where's that thing? Let's play that. It's the strangest jailhouse call I've ever heard. It says nothing. It's ridiculous. Where is it?
Obviously.
Who fucking cares?
I know. Oh, I'm just like so annoyed by that. Like, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Obviously, if
And
one
it's
party's
not like-
gonna do it, the other party's probably gonna do it to see what the fuck.
Right? And it's like,
Like, common sense.
you know, regarding your side of stuff, nothing came out of that. What came out of the other side?
Exactly.
Oh, an illegal transfer, everything.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
A lot came out of that.
Yes, I just went in for a consultation. That was it.
Yep.
So why is that so bad? Am I misunderstanding something?
No, it's just something they're going to try to probably try to hold against you, you know, for no fucking reason. Because
He did it first.
guess what? Yeah, he did it first, and not only did he do it first, like, he actually took action on it illegally.
Yes. All I did was, what the hell am I supposed to do? That was literally the conversation.
Yeah. Yep. So,
It's my right to
that
do.
person's probably going to be right.
And
So that
it's,
person's probably going to be brought in,
which is perfect, because you know what I told that person?
which is what?
I don't want to fill out the packet. I don't want absolutely anything. I want to walk away clean and free. I don't want anything. And she kept advising me, no, that's not how this works. You have to fill this out about da-da-da-da. And I said, I don't want to. I don't want any of it.
Yep.
That is what I told that lady. I said, I just want these done. And
Yeah,
she argued
perfect.
with me. Forever. I took the packet, I threw it away. I'm like, no, I won't fill this out. Because I don't want to have to do
So-
everything.
I mean, right. So that's perfect and works in favor for you for everything.
Yep.
Nothing,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm just like so fucking annoyed by it though. Like, quit portraying me to be this person.
Yeah.
Anything you're trying to say I did, Eric did. Like, so now they cancel each other out. You fucking.
Quit portraying me to be this person. Anything that they're trying to say that I did, Eric did. Fucking idiots. There you go. She likes the word idiots.
Like,
Yeah.
protecting myself, like,
Yeah, I wouldn't get. I wouldn't get too worked up about it.
yeah, I'm not, but that just gave me an idea. I am going to ask if she can testify.
Well, that's not really going to matter because she just gets subpoenaed. And to be honest, if their attorneys don't do it, yeah, you're not.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just annoyed. So I told Mom. I said,
Because they're going to try to paint this picture. They're going to try to paint this picture and like, oh no,
yeah.
no, here she is. What she asked about? What do you advise her? What she say no to?
So yeah, I don't know.
They thought, like you said, they found out about it, but guess what? You know, so did he.
Exactly.
So it's everybody's natural reaction to want to defend themselves.
Yeah, I've listened to that call a bunch, and nothing is said at all. It's just someone bitching. That's all it is. There's no content. And I think that's a pretty good summary of Kouri's entire existence, right? There's no content. I mean, I guess there is with the murder and all, but aside from that, there's nothing. There is no story. It really is kind of freaking me out that she might not even actually exist in terms of what makes a person, in terms of what makes a human being. She doesn't exist. It's like she's a cyborg or AI. Maybe she's just a few lines of code that don't do anything. That's all she is.
I'm sorry, is he finished? We have no further questions, thank you.
May we release this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bloodworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Detective O'Driscoll, you are free to go. You are released from any subpoena. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Mr. Bloodworth.
Your Honor, the state has a stipulation to admit. I don't even think we have to publish it. It's up to the state that I think we marked it as 865. We'll admit that now.
Okay. Can I see it for a moment? Admitted.
Your Honor, I think if we can just admit it now, during jury instructions, when the court would instruct on that, we can read this.
All right, we'll have a discussion about whether to convert this into a stipulation of fact instruction when the time comes.
Right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. State's Exhibit 8-65, titled Stipulation of Fact, is admitted by stipulation between the parties. Mr. Bloodworth.
Your Honor, state's in an interesting posture.
Do you need a moment on the record outside the presence of the jury?
We do.
Okay. I think this would be an appropriate time to just set a schedule for the rest of the day. Are we going to be able to, it seems likely to me, you tell me, that we'll be taking a recess now but not coming back for about 90 minutes. Does that sound about right?
Your Honor, that's my sense of it. I'm waiting on a defense decision.
Okay. Well, in either way, I'll bet you steak dinner it's going to be about 90 minutes, but we're going to rise for the jury, and I'll send out word through the bail. All rise for the jury.
Is he allowed to say that? I bet you a steak dinner it's going to be about 90 minutes for her to decide whether or not she's going to testify. She's going to take all the time she can get to make that decision.
We have lunch coming today, right? Okay, very good. Have a seat, folks. Thank you.
I knew you were on it.
All right, Mr. Bloodworth, we're on the record. The jury is not present. Tell me what's up.
Your Honor, the state's waiting on the defense's decision regarding the Norris matter, because if they want to proceed in one fashion, the state will call some additional witnesses in its case in chief. If they want to proceed in another fashion, then the state will rest.
This is what I was trying to tease out, and I apologize for not being more specific.
Isn't that what
they did not open
Isn't that what a rebuttal case is for?
the door to this issue through any of the state's witnesses in the state's case of chief so far, I understand the possible order of events from this point forward to be they'll make a decision about whether in the defense case to open the door to it. If they do, the state would be able to respond by, among other things, publishing evidence of Mr. Jeff's statements and, forgive me, the other gentleman,
Bonsavage.
Mr. Bonsavage's statements as part of the state's response to or rebuttal of the defense's theory of a failure or to
There you go. I should have been a lawyer.
investigator and complete investigation. But they haven't opened the door yet, so I don't think there's any need or ability for the state to get into it in its case in chief.
Okay, Your Honor, then the state rests.
Okay. With the state having rested, Ms. Nestor, does the defense have a motion?
We do, Your Honor. Mr. Ramos is going to take care of that.
Your Honor, under both Rule 17-0 as well as 77-17-13, discharge for insufficient evidence, the defense presents the following and moves for a directed verdict. At the conclusion, this is just for the record, Judge, as Your Honor knows, at the conclusion of the evidence by the prosecution, which has just been done, the court may issue an order dismissing any information or indictment or an account thereof upon the ground that the evidence is not legally sufficient to establish the offense or offenses charged therein or any lesser included offense. Judge, based on the evidence that has been presented over the past 10 days or so, including all inferences, of course, that can be reasonably drawn from the evidence, it is the position of the defense that some evidence exists from which a reasonable jury could find that some, however, not all of the elements of the crimes that have been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. In terms of the sufficiency of the evidence, Judge, I'll start backwards, starting with count 5. With regards to the forgery, even looking at all the inferences in favor of the state, we do not believe that the state has proven a specific intent to defraud as it relates to the forgery. There's no proof that the signature was done without Eric's authority. And even assuming that the defendant, Ms. Richins, signed on behalf of Eric with or without permission, that itself does not conclusively presume that because she signed the name of Eric, that a forgery has occurred. The act, in other words, of signing another's name without permission doesn't constitute forgery, again, unless it was done with the intent to defraud, which we don't believe it has been met here. In terms of count 4, and forgive me, Judge, the way I'm approaching this is based primarily on the information, the criminal information, as the facts were laid out there. It was a bit difficult to follow through the testimony as to exactly what the state's position is. According to the criminal information, the basis for the true stage, count 4, insurance fraud is that Ms. Richins, or rather, True Stage left the voicemail with Ms. Richins requesting a copy of the prescription, any prescription Mr. Richins had for fentanyl. Then later that same day, Ms. Richins informed True Stage that fentanyl was not prescribed and that she had no idea how Eric obtained the fentanyl.
I think it's that last clause of that sentence that this is the state's prima facie showing. Do you see it differently?
And taking that as their basis, what the evidence has shown thus far has been that Ms. Richins sought and procured oxy from Ms. Lauber, that while Ms. Lauber indicated that it was fentanyl, her source, Mr. Crozier, provided fentanyl. That Mr. Crozier did not provide fentanyl. Rather, he provided prescription-grade oxy. From that moment, from the supplier, Mr. Crozier, to Ms. Lauber, the evidence is that what was provided was oxy.
May I ask you a direct question about that?
Sure.
Why couldn't a jury, properly instructed on the law, and consistent with the court's duty when considering a motion for directed verdict, drawing all inferences in the state's favor. View the evidence as showing that Robert Crozier sold to Carmen Lauber 15 to 30 bluish pills marked M30. Carmen Lauber provided them to Kouri Richins, and then, based upon the testimony of Eric Haskell, that during that time frame, bluish pills marked M30 likely contained fentanyl.
Two responses. One, the testimony from Mr. Crozier as to the quantity and the amount per pill does not jive at all with the Haskell testimony as to how much fentanyl grade, or I guess street level non-prescription pills were going for. What was indicated in the evidence was the amount that was paid was consistent with prescription grade oxys. So that's how I would answer Your Honor's question.
Okay.
Count 3, as I understand it, is that Ms. Richins, again according to the criminal information, had indicated a phone number with an incorrect digit. The signature on the application that purported to be Mr. Richins is a forgery. We talked about count 5. And then in the context, and I think it was also the P.O. box. I imagine they were trying to establish that Mr. Richins didn't have access to that or something to that effect. I don't believe any evidence has been presented to that degree. Or the
P.O. box or substantial evidence that Eric didn't know about it.
Not necessarily.
If I view the inferences in the light most favorable to the state.
And even with that, Judge, I mean, there was no evidence presented at all that from the Postal Service or anybody saying that Mr. Richins had no idea that that P.O. box existed. There was a statement and a question made by, I believe, the state, but no evidence was presented to show that that was actually the case. That's how I would answer Your Honor's question. Also, an interesting point. Term life insurance. At the moment that she allegedly signed on behalf of Eric and was submitted and was paid from her account, I am not certain that Your Honor could find that that term life insurance actually had value. What I mean by that is that there is case law, of course, in the civil process or context, that in the context of term life insurance, Utah courts have specifically addressed whether such policies have value as property. And the Court of Appeals in Beckham v. Beckham, I didn't write down the citation, I'll provide that, Your Honor, held that term life insurance policies generally have no cash value and therefore no property value. This is, of course, in the context of marital assets. So I bring that up. I think that's an interesting point. Obviously, it was marked for $100,000, but the actual value of that, I don't know, it raises an interesting issue.
Doesn't the statute talking about the elements of that particular crime for count 3 talk about property, money, or things obtained or sought to be obtained?
Correct. And that was going to be my last point, is at that moment, what the state needed to provide or prove, put forth evidence, is that at the moment that Ms. Richins allegedly signed on behalf of Mr. Richins for $100,000 term life insurance, that at that moment she knew that she was going to attempt to take her husband's life. And I don't believe they've met that, Judge. That's how I would answer that.
Okay.
With regards to count 2 and 1, most of these arguments overlap, but I will attempt to keep them separate, Judge. As I understand it, in order for them to have met the elements, in order for Ms. Richins to be found guilty of an attempt, she must engage in conduct constituting a substantial step towards the commission of the offense. Here, evidence has been presented that she did seek to obtain oxy. We've had that discussion. Obtaining that oxy, just obtaining the oxy itself, is mere preparation. There is case law, as I'm sure Your Honor is aware, in State v. Johnson, 821 P2D 1150, that indicates that that is not enough. Coupled with the information that we just discussed as to whether it was oxy, whether it was fentanyl, I believe that's even Ms. Richins' case currently is even in a better posture than Ms. Johnson. So with that, if we look at it in the context of the Valentine's Day, there is no evidence at this point that what was obtained was fentanyl, one. Even if it was oxy, and she sought to obtain that. Beyond that, there's nothing else, no other evidence that indicates that Ms. Richins took those pills, the greenish-blue ones, I think at that time 15 milligrams is what Mr. Crozier said, and did anything else with it. I think the evidence as to Mr. Richins ingesting a sandwich is clear. In terms of Ms. Richins picking it up, absolutely. That his reaction was a result of that and not anything else, I believe that the evidence is scant. Your Honor has a question.
No, I'm following.
I will say that even in the Johnson case, the evidence was clear that the defendant in that case had actually obtained a specific type of drug, methamphetamine. So even in that case, they knew exactly what was obtained. Here, it's unclear what was obtained. I will add this before I forget. It relates to all of this in your prior question. In terms of the pills, Ms. Lauber testified the amount of pills that was significantly different from what Mr. Crozier had indicated, as well as the packaging. I believe that's important in the court's consideration in terms of what type of pills ultimately were given from Mr. Crozier to Ms. Lauber.
Kosher Style. Welcome back. What have you got for us today, Kosher Style?
This same argument, not to rehash it, applies to count one. And it leaves us with the administering of the drug. Zero evidence has been presented besides that fentanyl was in his system, in his gastric, and it was possibly orally ingested. There has been no evidence in terms of the administering of whatever it was.
The judge isn't even listening. Look, there has been zero evidence that fentanyl was ever ingested by anybody. It flew into his stomach.
At all. Judge, for those reasons, the defense requests that Your Honor exercise your duty under both the Rule 17 as well as the Code.
Yeah, Michelle, I was thinking about doing a comparison video between the Kouri Richins 911 call and Sarah Boone 911 call because they both have a resistance to performing CPR. You can just hear it. And they both got pretty good body cams too when the first responders get there. We'll do a comparison tomorrow or today.
And we move for directed verdict on those counts, Judge, for those reasons. Unless Your Honor has any questions.
I do not. You'll get the last word.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have any questions for that piece of shit argument. How's it going, Kouri?
Perhaps begin by asking the court if the court
Does anybody know if she was offered a plea deal? I don't suppose she would have been. What is she going to offer?
has any particular element that they would like the state to speak on.
No, I understand the standard. I believe I understand the state's theory on each of the counts, especially 1, 2, 3, and 4. Speak to count 5 if you want to. And specifically, Mr. Rambas's argument regarding lack of believable evidence regarding intent to defraud.
Your Honor, it ties into count 3, right? It's the same insurance. This is the $100,000 true stage policy. And the scheme charge, the scheme fraud in count 3 is that Kouri Richins, at the time she took out that $100,000, well, this is interesting. The timing doesn't matter for count 3, but the timing does matter for count 5. That as it relates to count 5, at the time she forged Eric Richins' signature, she intended to defraud. I think the evidence that supports her intent is the fact that nothing on the face of the application indicates that Eric would know of this application, right? The mailing address, the email address, the phone number, everything, the payment, everything comes back to Kouri Richins. And she signed this, I think it was late January 2023, at a time when she had...
January 29, 2022, correct?
I'm sorry, 2022. It was the end of January 2022, at a time when she had already begun asking Hayden Jeffs and Carmen Lawber for drugs of some sort, at a time when she had already expressed her interest in starting a fresh life with Josh Grossman, and at a time when she had told Becky Lloyd that she would be better off if Eric was dead, and at a time when she had told Josh Grossman if he would just go away. So there's sufficient evidence in the light most favorable to the state that a reasonable jury could find that on January the 29th, when she forged Eric Richins' name, she had intended the entire fraud scheme that's charged in count 3.
Understood. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramos, anything further, sir?
Just briefly, and this is, of course, if Mr. Bloodworth wants to respond to this. I did neglect in my argument initially as to count 2 the testimony regarding the joking nature conversation that Ms. Stakings had that she...
I don't think the verdict's today. I think they're going to take a break. Oh, hey, Pinto, Mr. Pinto, Peabody, Sally, how you doing? Thank you for the super chat, Sally. Very much appreciated.
Testified to with both Ms. Richins and Mr. Eric Richins.
Yeah, no verdict. The state, Michelle's got it. The state and the defense just rested their cases. Now they have a 3-day weekend. When they come back, they will get jury instructions and then go to deliberations. So, we should all get that all done on Monday, right? Before lunch.
Of course, Your Honor, heard that, so I would just add that for the record.
Understood.
Thank you.
Mr. Bloodworth, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, folks. I appreciate the argument. This is an important motion. Let me just take 5 minutes to collect my thoughts, and I'll give you a ruling. We'll be in recess until 5 of noon. Thank you.
Another bathroom break, Judge. Don't use your sleeves. Did you get that earlier, Sally? Oh my God. What we learnt about Eric Richins today and what he did with his sleeves and his socks. Because he couldn't wait.
All right.
State of Utah. And there's a tiny bit at the end where they come back.
Your Honor, actually, at this time, the defense intends to arrest.
Whoa.
We should probably do that in front of the jury, yes?
Right?
Okay.
I agree.
I just want to make sure you've consulted with your client about this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what? No witnesses? You see, I don't think that's a bad move for them. I thought they were going to bring on a load of witnesses and recall state witnesses and all sorts. But no, they're not going to call a single one. It's a Chandler Halderson tactic. But of course, with him, that was very bad. And it wasn't by choice. They just didn't have anybody they could call because they were like, well, anybody that's going to support his case doesn't exist. He made them up. Who are we going to call? What about Alyssa Brandt? Or what's the other guy called? Aaron Hoover. No, they're all fake people that don't exist.
is now an appropriate time to get a waiver of Ms. Richins.
But with this case, I don't hate the fact that the defense aren't going to call a witness. I think that's pretty strong because they've spent all their energies discrediting where they can the state's witnesses and their view of things, right? So to just leave it at that, if they presented a story, if they presented their version of events, that would be a risk because of the exposure to how unbelievable their version of events are. But if they just poke holes in the state's case, you know, you see what I mean? It's like there's nothing to compare it to. It might be the smartest tactic that they've done, of the options that were available within that decision, right? You could call witnesses or no witnesses. You could get your client to testify or not testify. That's it. And they did 2 thumbs down, no thank yous on that, right? And that's probably strong.
Right to testify on the record.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay. You've consulted with Ms. Richins about her, or advised Ms. Richins about her right to testify, correct?
At length.
Okay. Ms. Richins, may I ask you 2 direct questions?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to testify at trial?
How is the spicy chili bean burger? And does it come with, you know, those, what do you call those? Like waffle fries. They're like tiny waffles, but they're fries. I like, yeah. And the sweet chili dip. And a large Sprite.
Yes, I do.
Are you following your attorney's advice?
No, Fanta. Orange Fanta.
And waiving your right to testify at trial?
Yes, I am.
I accept your waiver. I find it's knowing and voluntary.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. Anything further? Ms.
Because I haven't heard her speak in a while, apart from on her bullshit stuff. What does she say here? How is her voice?
May I ask you 2 direct questions?
Does she look like a shit-hot businesswoman?
You've consulted with Ms.
Is she going to command the room with her fantastic enunciation?
Richins about her, or advised Ms. Richins about her right to testify, correct?
At length.
Okay. Ms. Richins, may I ask you 2 direct questions?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to testify at trial?
Yes, I do.
Are you following your attorney's advice and waiving your right to testify at trial?
Yes, I am.
You see, I wouldn't even trust her to go and pick up some chicken nuggets for me from behind the counter, because I know that she would drop one on the floor and not think twice about putting it back in the bag.
I accept your waiver. I find it's knowing and voluntary. Okay, thank you. Anything further on the record, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bloodworth, how would you propose we proceed from here for the rest of today?
So let me backtrack a little bit.
Well, I was thinking now that this is all said and done, we could maybe go and have a picnic on the front lawn outside the courthouse. You know, maybe we could, maybe I could comb your hair, Judge, while we eat sandwiches.
On your earlier question, I think I should then rest in front of the jury.
Understood.
The defense can then rest in front of the jury.
Hey, you already had your rest the other day when you fell asleep during questions. Did you all see that?
I think then for the rest of today, and I propose tomorrow, the court recess, and that we begin, the parties can work on jury instructions perhaps today or tomorrow, but then we instruct and close on Monday.
My face is not telegraphing any opinion one way or the other. I'm just waiting for a response.
I don't think we have a problem with that. We were thinking it might make sense to get the jury instruction conference out of the way, and then...
I agree with you. May we do it tomorrow? Give the counsel both sides a chance to talk to each other about any additional instructions you think might be necessary.
What's the matter, Judge? You got a 3 o'clock tee off? What do you call it? What do you call it when there's golf? A 3 o'clock tee off. Is it tee off? Or just tea? A 3 o'clock tea. But that sounds like, you know, tea and cake. High tea. I have high tea in chambers at 3. What do you call it when there's a golf appointment? I got a 3 o'clock putt. No. Tee. I got a 3 o'clock tee off. Can we find out? Tea time. Ah, that's it. Yeah, 3 o'clock tea time. Yeah. Oh, Michelle says tea off. I don't know. One of them will do. But yeah, he seems very eager. Yeah, I'd love to go through a jury instruction conference right now, but you know what I'd love to do even better? To do that tomorrow.
Arrow any differences or discuss any differences you have regarding any of those, and we can have that conference tomorrow.
Yeah, yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, I know, right, Sally. The private investigator was probably the best witness of the entire trial so far. I mean, what a guy. A guy who lives to not be bullied by prosecutors or defense counsel, right? I thought he went a bit over the top when he was like, I have no idea what a sexting is. And it's like, well, I'm sure you got a general idea, you know?
So we'll talk about scheduling about that. Just want to make sure we're all comfortable with the jury being out in the wild between now and Monday morning, yes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Out in the wild? Why? What's going to happen? They're going to do what all Utahnians do, which is drive home, stay home until the next day, and then, you know, get up and wear something that's too big. Yeah, I just don't know if they do much. They seem to do a lot of ATVing over there. Don't know what that's about. All the space they have, I suppose.
Okay. All right. Are we ready for the jury? Mr. Bloodworth?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please have a seat as you come in. Have a seat, thank you. Mr. Bloodworth.
Your Honor, the state rests its case.
Very good. Ms. Lewis.
Your Honor, after consulting with our client, the defense rests.
Understood. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, there is some legal work that I need to do with counsel in this case to get from here to the next stage. Rather than use your time inefficiently with you in the courtroom, we're going to do the following. We're going to recess for today. You will be on your own in the wild between now and 8:30 a.m. on Monday morning. I cannot emphasize this enough. Between now and 8:30 a.m. on Monday morning, please do not say anything about this case to anyone. I would understand if you had to tell somebody that you have to be back here at 8:30 a.m. on Monday morning. Other than that circumstance, please do not discuss this case with anyone. Do not allow anyone to attempt to talk to you about it. It will take affirmative effort and diligence. I need you to use that same affirmative effort and diligence to make sure you avoid watching, listening, or reading anything about this case from any source whatsoever. And please do not do any search, research, query, anything of any kind between now and 8:30 a.m. on Monday morning. Please travel safe. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you at 8:30 a.m. on Monday. Please rise for the jury.
Hey, Kouri, maybe if you bring in some hot wings for the jury on Monday, they'll be more amiable to voting not guilty, depending on how they're cooked.
All right, folks, have a seat. May I propose the following? That counsel have an email exchange or a phone call, say 4 p.m.-ish today, about the state of the jury instructions and whether you think there need to be any additions or amendments. And then, to the extent there are, please send me an email or file something in the docket and let me know that you did. And then what time would you like to get together to talk about the instructions one by one tomorrow?
9:30?
Do you want to do it a little later just so I have time to look at whatever happens?
You suggest?
Late as possible.
Want to do it at 1?
Yes.
Sure.
Mr. Bloodworth?
Sure, sir.
All right. So you're all at least going to compare notes by the end of the day today. And if you file anything additional, you'll let me know by email. And I'll plan on being back on the record with you all 1 p.m. tomorrow. Mr. Bloodworth, anything else today?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Richins, 1 p.m. tomorrow. The court is in recess. Thank you. All rise.
And there they go, away. Well, the jury's away. I guess we'll be away as well. We don't need to see the jury instruction conference, do we? Maybe we do. Maybe we ought to. Maybe we owe it to justice. We owe it to Utah. What can we see now? Just briefly. I think we'll wrap up, right? Keep it civil. Keep it calm. Keep it crystal. Keep it smooth. What do we got here? Let's go to the medical examiner. Okay, here's Kouri Richins talking to the medical examiner, phoning him up and saying, hey, what's all this toxicology report stuff? What is fentanyl? It's real funny on the phone, too. You can tell that she thinks she is a smooth talker on the phone. Hey, it's Kouri Richins here. I promise I won't take up too much of your time. Because it was in his stomach, does that mean he ate it? Is that... It's an eating thing, is it? That's what you do? You eat it? Cartel? Good Lord! Oh, my ears. Cartel. Is that illegal? That's illegal, isn't it? Oh, cartel. Good Lord. What was he up to?
Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to transfer you right now, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. No problem.
Is that Chris?
Hey, this is Kouri Richins. Hey, I just have some quick questions for you. I'm just trying to understand the toxicology report, and I promise I won't take up a ton of your time.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Can you just kind of explain to me, I guess, she was saying that this kind of supplemental report, I guess, was left out of the first autopsy, and so nothing has really changed. Do you have it in front of you?
I do. Yeah, I've got the file here.
So can you...
So just so you know, so we issue supplemental reports, like if once the original report's issued, if we do any additional testing, if we do any additional microscopic examination, anything like that, then we include that. You know, we issue a supplemental report to include that additional information. And sometimes it does change the cause or manner, but in this case it didn't.
Okay, it was just like extra testing done?
Extra tox testing, yeah. So originally the testing, the only toxicology testing that was done was on blood. And so then this was additional testing on stomach contents.
Okay, and so is there a, difference in that, I guess?
Well, they just tell you different things in the sense of, it tells you something about what, was it, is it been there a long time? Is this something the person's been using for a long time?
Okay.
Is it something they ate? Is it something they, injected? Is it, whatever? And there's different things you can learn by looking at different substances. I mean, we fully expected to find it in the stomach. It's just a question of what was there.
So does does this tell you, like, if it was like injected, if he ate it, is that what this, can you tell from this report?
Not definitively. I mean, it seems like, with what the amount that's there, that it probably was ingested. Probably taken by mouth.
Okay, and so the 15 ng, like, is that like a substantial amount? Is that like a trace?
That's a lot of fentanyl in the blood, yeah. And that's, people die with half that amount or less in their system.
Okay, so that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So what's the next one down, the norfentanyl?
It's a metabolite of fentanyl. It's what your body changes fentanyl into after you take it.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. And then, sorry, just the third one, the acetyl. I don't know how you say that.
Acetyl fentanyl.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just it's a form of, it's a variant of fentanyl that is usually only present in the setting of illicitly manufactured fentanyl.
Illicit manufactured, like a pharmacy?
No. A lot of most fentanyl that we see that ends up leading people to die these days is related to fentanyl that's manufactured by drug cartels as opposed to by pharmaceutical companies.
Oh, good Lord! So this is like more of like a cartel. No, I mean that's not what it is.
You call this the street fentanyl as opposed to
prescription. Okay, I see. And then is the ethanol, is that alcohol?
That's alcohol. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and is that like the 279? Is that kind of like a substantial amount, or is that like one drink? Is that 5 drinks?
You can't tell how much it is, and in this case, since this testing was sent, quite a long time after the original autopsy, most likely that's related to post-mortem change, but it could be stuff that he drank. There's not really a way to sort that out. It could be related to decomposition of the stomach contents, or it could be related to stuff he drank. But either way, in the stomach contents, there's no way to know what that.
So there's no way to tell the difference in your stomach contents if the presence of ethanol is from something you drank or your gut decomposing. What does that tell you?
Level means in terms of, if that was a blood level, that would be the same as a 0.28, which would be, that person would be pretty substantially intoxicated. But because it's gastric contents, you could in theory pull something out and it would be, 100% ethanol, if, depending on if they just drank a stomach full of, if they just drank a bunch of Everclear or something else. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really tell you much about how much they drank or what they drank.
Everclear? What is Everclear? drank a bunch of Everclear.
Anything like that.
I
When
gotcha.
in the stomach. And it's not present in his blood, so.
I gotcha. Okay. So it's not present in the blood, just the gastric or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just the last one. What is quetiapine? Quetiapine?
Quetiapine is an antipsychotic medication. It's called Seroquel.
Okay. I gotcha.
It's a prescription, mental health medication.
Mhm.
It's prescribed for different things.
I gotcha. Okay. And it has like 16,000?
16,000 nanograms per milliliter. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is that, I mean, quite a bit? Like.
Okay, Everclear is a grain alcohol that is 75.5% proof. Fucking hell. That's a lot. Jesus Christ. Why would anybody want to drink that? Fucking hell. What's a whiskey, like 40%? I think a whiskey is like 40%. And this is 75.5%. That is fucked. What does this make you want to do? Apart from die.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big number, but it doesn't really mean that much. You know, so a nanogram is a millionth of a gram, and a gram is not very big. So even 16,000 of them is not a huge amount.
Okay. Is there like, could those have been mixed?
Well, 16,000 grams would be 16 kilos, which is 2.2, 32, 16 is 3, like 35 pounds. So that's quite a bit.
Mixed? Or is that not kind of a
What's that? Could what be mixed?
quetiapine and like the fentanyl? Or is that like a normal, I guess, drug thing? I don't know. Like.
It's not.
It's a normal, drug thing. I don't know drugs. Not my world. Oh, I don't know. Is that what a drug is?
I mean, most of the time if we see those together, it's because somebody was taking quetiapine as a prescribed medication and they were abusing fentanyl. But, do you have any indication he was abusing fentanyl?
No, that's why all of this is just like, what the heck is this and going on? So I guess that's why I'm confused just about all of this, honestly. So I don't know.
Yeah, she was covering for him here, guys. She was protecting his reputation. I'm surprised she didn't do a Jodi Arias and come out and say, I came home one day and he was masturbating on the bed to a picture of an 8-year-old boy in spiderwear underpants. Oh, Jodi. You really do set a benchmark,
Where
don't
is
you?
the evidence prior to the murder? Where is the evidence? Where is the solicitation and conspiracy evidence? The state couldn't show that because there wasn't any evidence.
There was evidence, Donna. There was a lot. There was a whole stack of evidence, Donna. Yeah, and they showed it all at your trial. Thank you so much, Mr. Pinto, Peabody, Sally, our lady in Oregon, for soap. Hey, thank you, soap. Say thank you to Sally. Lady Sally. Okay, great. Thank you, Sally. That's excellent. buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrics. We didn't check the PayPals. Gotta work out how to get a notification for those PayPals. Pop right up on the screen. Oh, that'll be the day. A great day. A day forward.
So, I know it doesn't mean anything now, but just kind of something for me to, try and figure out, I guess.
Yeah. Something for me to mull over. Yeah. I'll sit here and I'll try and think back if there were signs of his drug problem. Yeah, no, it'll be something for me to tussle with, in my mind. And as I went into my mind, I realized that, yeah, he had a really serious drug problem to the point where he was trafficking across national borders, international borders. Yeah. He would go down, say that he was hunting an exotic sheep, but really he would just buy one from the butcher whole and stuff the whole thing with fentanyl to get it across the border. It was all a ruse. Even, where he kept the fentanyl in the house, in the head of the buffalo. Go to the head of the buffalo and check it for drugs.
Yeah. And then I'm assuming the acetopian, is that like a aspirin or something?
Acetaminophen, that's just Tylenol. Yeah.
Oh, that's fentanyl too?
No, that's Tylenol.
Oh, Tylenol. I was like, holy shit, okay.
Yeah.
What, he got fentanyl on the mind there, Kouri, or what? He said Tylenol. Everybody heard Tylenol, but you. You heard fentanyl. Why is that? Why is that? Thinking about fentanyl a lot?
So just like Tylenol, caffeine, and then the naloxone, I'm assuming, is just something that they gave him while he was here?
Probably would be my guess. It'd be, somebody that's unresponsive. It's a very common thing for EMS.
Hey, Sally, were you here earlier to see our great find of the day? Where's our great find of the day? Oh, it was such a good find, Sally. Check this out.
Started as a whisper.
There. You see the crows in the cloud, behind the cloud? That's a group of crows. What is a group of crows called? A murder. It says murder on the front cover of this book, right next to the guy she murdered, allegedly. How fucked mad is that?
Okay, no, that works. I was just trying to figure out, if this is anything different, if we found out anything new with this stuff.
Yeah, like she said, it doesn't change anything in the cause or manner of death. It's still, definitely, death from fentanyl intoxication, and we still don't know how we got it into him.
Yeah, and I mean, is that anything you could ever find out? If it was, do people normally eat that? Like, take it, swap, is that something you shoot?
It's not usually something people eat. Well, that's not even true anymore. So with illicitly manufactured stuff, sometimes people take pills that have that. So yeah, these days you can't really tell.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. I do. Thank you very much. And
yep. And if you have other questions, don't hesitate to give me a call.
Okay. Awesome. What was your name?
Dr. Christensen.
Oh, Christensen. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep,
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you think that went, Kouri? Because I think it sucked.
Where is the evidence prior to the murder? Where is the evidence? Where is the solicitation and conspiracy evidence? The state couldn't show that because there wasn't any evidence.
Okay, it is too long, isn't it? It is too long. I think we've got Luis Rivera coming for tomorrow, but thank you so much, Michelle de Mateus, for those 3 cups on buymeacoffee.com/True Crime Metrix. Ah, yes. Love ya, Metrix. Hey, Annapolis. Where is it? Is it? I think it's Baltimore. Is it Baltimore where they say, what is it? They say hun, everywhere. What is that about? I think it's Baltimore. It's a Baltimore thing, hun. I've seen it on TV. But why? Nobody knows. Everclear is what I drank when I flunked my chemistry test. Well, you could have probably brought it into the lab and put it in a volumetric flask and exposed it to a Bunsen burner. Yeah. Set the whole place on fire. Some people use Everclear to bump up the alcohol content of certain drinks or to fortify wine. Well, like sherry. Is that just Everclear mixed with fucking grape juice? I knew they were fucking us. Everclear actually used to be a lot stronger than 75%, but they lowered it at some point because it was too dangerous. Okay, so now it'll only make you go blind in one eye. Jody. Oh, fucking Donna. Seroquel is also used off-label for a lot of things like insomnia. Well, that's what I have right now. Sorry, I have something to say about everything right now. Trying to sound like I know it all. Too late! Too late, far too late. Good. Okay, I think we'll leave it there, guys. We'll leave it there. Court tomorrow? No, we're doing a Sarah Boone 911 call comparison with the Kouri Richins 911 call and analysing it up against the COPS scale, which is what? What was it again? The offenders. What is the C? I forget the C. Let's get the other words first. Offenders probability. Fuck. What is it? Look it up. COPS scale. Considering offender probability statements. Scale is a checklist designed to analyze emergency service homicide calls to distinguish between truthful callers and those involved in the crime, false allegation callers, or facts. It relies on identifying specific guilty or innocent behavioral indicators. However, recent studies, including evaluations published in 2025, have raised significant questions about the validity of the COPS scale, finding it largely unable to distinguish between guilty and innocent callers. I don't know. I don't need the scale. I'd give you more than 50% success rate just by listening. We should do a test, shouldn't we? How do we do? We need to get a bunch of calls that no one's ever heard before and see if people can distinguish using the COPS scale. We'll start that process tomorrow night at 9. Okay, thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting, super coffee go getting, super sticker giving, and Bulletproof Metrix moderating. I've been your host, True Crime Metrix. Thank you, everybody. Good night.